wanted to make sure that Fable felt like it was in a beautiful, natural, fantastic environment, a place where you would want to live.
We had to hit the ground running on Fable, and that meant that we evolved the look as we went along. And what we did decide pretty much from the early days is we didn't want to do a sort of really traditional orcs and monsters type game, because to be quite honest, we're fed up of that. What we really wanted was we wanted more of a kind of a dark fairy tale. I wanted something that looked beautiful, and the other guys wanted something that played really well. I think we've got a unique fantasy look in the game. I think it's very different to an American kind of look, perhaps, and that means a little bit of sort of medieval Europe, a little bit of kind of fantasy thrown in.
We went out into the real world and looked at a lot of natural scenes and environments, and from that we extracted what we thought would be appropriate to the game and the style of the game that had already been established. We've been very particular about making everything within the game look convincing. Not necessarily realistic, but it's more a case of making the environment, the whole nature of the thing, so it fit together.
Yeah, this area here is fantastic. You get down early in the morning.
We choose to live in this sort of sleepy sort of suburb of London, and we've got beautiful countryside around, and we love that. And we've gone out and we've taken cameras out and we've walked around and we've taken pictures of things and said, look, we want that kind of feel in the game. One of the things that we just took so much time overdoing was the trees. And it seems like a really kind of obvious thing, but it's one of the things we had to get just right. I mean, they're really expensive objects to draw in the game technically. They had to have a huge kind of canopy because you were going to walk underneath them. We wanted sort of beams of sunlight to come through the leaves and all the rest of it. Trees, flowers, grass, foliage, that kind of stuff is a pain in the arse, and yet that's one of the key things that makes Fable what it is. The houses, although they look quite simple, they're quite sort of complex objects. They've had to be split into interiors and exteriors. All of the windows and the doors and everything are generated in the game. A lot of decisions were kind of quite late decisions. The ideas to put fireplaces into the houses. Obviously putting a fireplace into a house gives it a much more sort of cosy feel.
It's a labour of love, a lot of the stuff that's gone in there. We spent a long time on it, and we're really pleased with a lot of what we've done. So just take time to look at the world as well as play the game, because it's all part of the experience.